welcome back to another video with ElectraSoul. This video is going to be a Q&A, basically all spiritual questions that I got off of Instagram. We're gonna get right into it. But first, let me say that I have a spiritual store called ElectraSoul.co, in which I sell angel number, everything. This is a shirt that I made. I forgot what it says on the back. I think it says 111, and then there's a cross on the front. I create angel number clothing, so if you have a specific number you want me to make, we can talk and we can make it happen. I do spiritual coaching, spiritual readings, and I sell crystals, sages, incenses, like everything that you need. So go check that out. I also have a spiritual TikTok and a spiritual Instagram, which I'll link down below. And now, really quick, I have a Hey Hero. So if y'all want to have a one-on-one with me through video chat, go check that out. I'm gonna put it down below so that you can contact me. Of course, this is separate from my spiritual coaching, but these are more so for people who want to talk face-to-face and want certain kinds of answers, like quick answers. And the very last thing is that I am releasing angel number purses on Valentine's Day. Here's an example of one. As you could see, rhinestone angel wings 444 pink. I literally am in love with this. The back says angelic protection 444%. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then I also have 333 and 777 bags that are gonna be light blue. And if you want to go see more about it, go check it out on my Instagram. Like, oh my gosh, bro, that's crazy. I'm so excited. Okay, let's get right into the video. I'm gonna try to get through every single question because I got a lot of questions, but I'm just gonna go off based the ones that I feel like I should answer the most. So the first question, do you know who your soulmate is? I'm assuming they're asking me personally if I know who my soulmate is. Yes, I definitely do. I'm not with my soulmate though romantically. I'm with my twin flame. My soulmate is my best friend. Literally love her so much. Like, we vibe on the same level. She's my everything, forever and always. Like, that's that connection that everyone knows about and knows that is like untouchable. Literally nobody measures up to her. Basically, yeah, I do know my soulmate and she's my best friend. What are the most common mistakes spiritual babies make? Oh my god, I love this question because I know when I first started like in spirituality, I made so many mistakes and I thought I was doing the right thing. Baby, listen. I mean, in general, there is no right or wrong. It's more so just things that hold you back. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna talk about are misconceptions. If you're manifesting, you do not need to be in a certain state. You do not need to be high vibrational. You do not need to be zen in your room meditating. That's not what manifesting is, okay? This is something that I learned recently through Sammy Ingram. If y'all know who she is, y'all know she's the GOAT, but if you don't know, you should definitely go check her out because she will change your life. We are always manifesting all the time, whether you realize it or not, okay? So every time you think of a certain situation that you think might happen, you get a visualization in your head of that thing. Whether you realize it or not, you do. Like, it just happens naturally. Once you realize this point, you're going to start seeing now how every single thing that you imagine, you actually do visualize it. Like, you can for real see it in your mind's eye. So the thing is that with visualization, like when you see these things, that's what makes things become real. For example, it's your wedding day and you're like, what if it rains? What if it rains? And you keep seeing in your mind's eye, rain, 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 rain. It's gonna rain on your wedding day. It's gonna rain on your wedding day. And then it rains on your wedding day. That's literally you manifested that, whether you realize it or not. For those trying to manifest, I need you to know that you do not need to be in any kind of state in order to manifest. Because regardless of what state you're in, you are constantly manifesting. The only thing I would really say for those who are trying to manifest successfully for good things, every single time you think of a negative notation, like a negative thing, for example, you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm so unattractive. Stop yourself mid-sentence before you finish that sentence and create a negative scenario in your head. What you're gonna say is, I am so pretty. And that switches everything around. Keep doing it. Keep affirming. Do not let your negative thoughts come in because I'm telling you right now, what you're thinking about will manifest. So please be on top of that. Okay, I'm sorry that was pretty long, but that was one misconception I just needed to say because you do not need to do any methods. I know like methods help people, but in general, like doing methods literally makes no difference. I've had the most manifestation success just changing what I thought about. Every single method I've ever done never ever worked for me. So the next thing that I would say is thinking that certain things can stump your growth. For example, people think that if they're not doing something in particular, like meditating every day, working with crystals every day, manifesting every day, like, you know, the methods and things like that, that they're not doing spirituality right. Let me tell you right now, the way I was 3 years ago, when I really started getting in touch with my like shadow self and everything like that, I was like that. I was very meditation every single day, listening to frequencies every single day, all kinds of things that I thought were zen. And yes, I did do it at that time because I really liked doing them. Like, it was a lot of fun, you know, I felt super good about myself, you know, you feel so spiritual. But now I don't do the things that I used to do. Like, the things that I did then was to help heal my shadow self, in which now I'm definitely healed from that. And so I don't listen to frequencies every single day. I honestly don't even listen to frequencies that much anymore. It really depends on the person. If you like doing it, do it. And I'm not saying I don't like it, I do. But it's not something that's a necessity. I feel like people, when they become spiritual, they feel like they need to go into the stereotype of doing everything that a spiritual person would do. Literally, being spiritual is a state of mind. It's not about what you do, okay? You cannot dress to look spiritual. Whether you carry crystals in your bag or not, like, that's not going to make you less spiritual. You might have a natural attraction to these things, but I promise you, whether you carry crystals around in your pocket or not, if you still think with a positive mindset and you try to see the best in everything and you think with your soul, that's what being spiritual is. It's not about, oh, I meditated last night 3 times. Oh, I lucid dreamt the other night. I did manifestation techniques 55 by 5 or whatever. No, okay? That's a big thing that I also wanted to say, because people think that you have to. Promise you, you don't. So the next question that I got was, what can you do to vibrate at a higher vibration? That's a great question. This all has to do with you. Honestly, it's literally all kinds of things. But I'm gonna be real with you. I definitely believe that what makes you vibrate at the highest level is doing what you love. And I mean this in all aspects of your life. This doesn't only go for having a job. This goes for doing things every day that you actually like doing. Like, if you like to paint, but you're too lazy to paint, you're gonna feel like shit, because you're gonna be like, I should be painting right now, I want to paint, but I don't want to get up. What does that make you feel? It makes you feel bad. So I definitely 110% recommend doing something that you genuinely like doing. As long as it's not hurting anybody, it will definitely help you. Another thing that I learned that helped me raise my vibration was to be super accepting. Like, this made me feel so much better, because I used to be up here, my mind was going crazy with all these egoistic thoughts. You need to be able to see things in a positive light. You need to be able to separate yourself from the judgment with the soul. You know, if you see somebody and they're doing something that you don't agree with, before you form a judgmental thought or you say something judgmental, stop yourself. I promise you, if you mind your own business and you don't spread negative comments, even if you think it'll make other people laugh because you like the satisfaction of knowing that other people are laughing with you, stop yourself, please. I'm telling you right now, everything that you do negatively and positively comes back to you. If you're over here being mean to somebody, it's gonna come back to you. You need to fix up here before you can fix anything else. Like, this up here literally creates your entire life. So make sure you have it in check at all times. Be mindful about the things that you say. Oh my God, this is so important. And about the things that you think, the things that you do as well. If you feel like something isn't vibrationally aligning with you, cut it out. Please cut it out. I promise you it won't do you any good, and the feeling will not change from negative to positive. If you feel like initially that this thing is a negative thing that you're doing, it's not going to magically feel positive tomorrow. It's going to remain that way. So if you feel like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, please stop doing it. You will feel so much better once you realize the things that you're doing wrong and you decide to fix them. Okay, don't just put things off because it's easier to do so, or you know, you're so used to it, or everybody else is doing it. Do what you want, do what you love, and make sure that it's making you feel good at all times. This is just, it's so important. Okay, the next question is, how can your soul be however many years old when time only exists here, or does it? The way that I see it is the way that you can figure out like how old you are the years that you see in here when you're doing a meditation to figure it out. The reason that we can see how old we are is because that's what our spirit guides know that we associate ourselves with. Obviously, they're not going to say time doesn't exist, it was whenever it happened. It's going to tell you a certain time because they know that that's how we work. They fit in with our beliefs. Another good way to put it, for example, if you ask your spirit guide what color something is and they tell you pink, well, obviously, colors don't actually have a name. You know, like time doesn't have a name, but your spirit guides know that you associate certain shades with different names. For example, this. Pink, right? But in general, this is just a shade of some color out there. When you ask about time, how old you were, they're going to give you a certain set date or set time that you were alive or how many past lives you have because of this belief in the name of time. I feel like the people who are supposed to get it will understand what I'm trying to say. Does eating certain foods influence your auras / chakras? Dairy, for example. Literally, do not at me if you do believe in something different from what I believe in, but I'm telling you what I genuinely believe in, okay? Nothing influences, no food influences or affects you energetically. Some people think that meats or dairies block your third eye. Listen, I'm gonna be so real with you. I tried to be vegetarian. I really tried to be, because at one point I just felt so bad for the carcass that I was eating. I was like, well damn, am I really spiritual if I like meat? Like, but listen, like I said earlier, being spiritual doesn't have a certain thing. It's literally how you think. I'm telling you right now, I eat Takis, I eat hot fries, I eat ice cream, I have milkshakes, I eat burgers, I literally eat everything that I feel like nobody likes anymore. But I do. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I eat Caesar salads every day. Like, I don't. Of course, there is a difference though. Some people, when they become awakened, they choose to start eating differently because they just feel differently about certain things. I know some people that when they spiritually awakened, they started feeling bad for the, you know, the meat that they were eating, knowing that that animal was alive and suffered. I also do believe that meats do carry the energies of like the trauma that they went through, the way that they were killed, everything like that. So definitely, I do believe that you can feed off of that. I feel like if you're focusing on that aspect of knowing like, oh my God, like I'm literally eating an animal that was alive and I can feel the trauma. That's, you know, of course, some people would want to change the way that they eat. I completely understand that. But me personally, the way that I see it is eating animals can definitely be cruel. Definitely. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, no, it's fine. It's like a life cycle. Coyotes that eat chickens or whatever. I do believe that definitely the government and all kinds of different things like pesticides and disgusting things get put into food. I 110% believe in these things. I do believe that a lot of the foods that we eat is like disgusting, like literally made out of gunk or whatever the fuck else. But to sit here and say that these foods would affect you spiritually would be a lie. Unless you're completely aware of the fact that you're just spiritually feeling different about the things that you're eating. I did have an awakening with this as well. You know, some foods that I was eating, I was like, I don't really feel like I want to eat that anymore. And that's just the way it is. But I do like meat. Like, you know, it has not blocked me in any way. I still can get rid of evil spirits. I still can see auras. I can still see clairvoyantly. I can still talk to God. I could talk to angels. I can still do everything that I was always doing. Like, the things that I eat have made no difference at all. So if you are somebody who's spiritual and you start feeling bad about the things that you're eating and you're like, I'm not spiritual if I eat hamburgers or I like fries and I drink milkshakes, do not be so hard on yourself. It's totally okay, all right? If you choose to become a vegetarian or a vegan, that's totally up to you. I don't believe that it's a necessity because I'm not. That's just the way I feel, like, genuinely speaking, and from what I've experienced as far as being a spiritual. You know, I believe in detoxes are really good, like drinking teas. You know, obviously I don't drink sodas anymore. I don't drink things with eat things with a lot of sugar in them anymore. I definitely like water teas, and I do believe that there's definitely something in the water in your house, like tap water is this, I'm sorry, like literally full of chemicals. It's ridiculous, the things that we are programmed to believe, programmed to eat, programmed to do. That's basically what I believe as far as that. Another question I got was, are you an indigo child? No, I don't feel that I am. I never resonated. I definitely associate myself with being an earth angel. I don't have an indigo aura, I have a white aura. And I'm definitely like somebody who has a similar purpose to indigo children. But I don't know, I feel like my purpose is a little different. You know, it's just kind of like to help and heal people. I just always felt like I was an earth angel. A lot of people would say that those two things are similar, but in my personal opinion, I do feel like it's to a different extent. Like, it's not that different, but the spirituality aspects, I do feel like it is different. Main difference between indigo children and earth angels are indigo children have a tougher approach to life. They're very non-bullshit. And with earth angels, I feel like we're a lot softer with the way that we deal with things. I feel like we do take bullshit until we literally cannot anymore. I definitely resonate with earth angel a lot more than indigo child. Somebody asked, can you close your third eye after opening it? I know people have been saying that you can't, like it's impossible to close your third eye after you opened it. I don't think that that's true. I do believe that once you become spiritually awakened, you can't go back to sleep, like, you know, fall back into the old pattern. But as far as chakras, they can definitely close. They could become overactive, underactive. If you want to close your third eye, literally just envision it closing. And that's it. It's kind of like when your third eye becomes cloudy because you're drinking too much or you're smoking too much, you're just doing things that aren't good for you. It's the same thing basically. So yes, you could definitely close your third eye if you want to. Do you believe in psychic mediums? Well, considering I am one, yes I do. What's your thoughts on manifesting someone back in your life? Is it ethical? Ooh, that's a great question. Okay. Little story time. I used to believe that manifesting people into your life was like bad because I used to think it was going against their free will. Like, I used to think that, you know, you were kind of forcing them into getting back with you if they don't want to. Well, something else that I learned from Sammy Ingram, the girl I was talking about earlier, is that no matter what you try to manifest, it's literally all having somebody do what you want. So whether you're trying to manifest getting into a certain college, manifesting a certain opportunity, the people that are giving you these opportunities or accepting you into the school, they're all being influenced. You are manifesting at all times. This is literally for everybody, literally for anybody, everybody. Whatever you think about becomes reality. It's not a source of manipulation because what you're thinking about is going to cause them to naturally want to do these things. So for example, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that is very unromantic and you want them to become romantic, you literally just envision them giving you flowers, hugging you, calling you this, calling you that, giving you this. And they're just gonna do it because that's your reality. You're creating your own reality. Whatever you are thinking about is what's going to manifest. For example, if in reality they're very unromantic, but in your reality you see them as romantic, they have no choice but to become what you are envisioning for them. Because this is what you believe, this is your reality. So if you believe somebody's going to be a bitch to you, they're going to remain a bitch because that's who they are in your reality. No, I don't think that manifesting somebody back into your life is unethical at all. Only thing that I would say is I do still believe that everything happens for a reason. So I do believe that if you are manifesting somebody back into your life and they do come back into your life, it's because that's what the purpose was, like in general. You know, before you came to Earth, I do believe that you planned everything that's going to happen to you. And so you definitely planned that aspect before you came to Earth. You definitely planned with the angels certain things that you were going to manifest, and the way that it happens is how it happens. So no. Do you support the LGBT plus community? Of course. Of course, like that's not even a question. Definitely. How many lives have you had on Earth? And 2, do you know all of them? What/who you were? The amount of lifetimes that I've lived is 1,099, and no, I do not know what happened in each and every single one because that's a lot. But what I do know is that my first life was in ancient Egypt, and my most recent one was in England, and I was a guy. So, and I was also in the Holocaust. And I was some girl in the like 40s or something like that. That's basically what it is. Why do I get a wave of unmotivation and how can I stop it? This is a really good question. When you get a wave of unmotivation, I have to say right now, I would say that this is your soul asking for a break, but it's not a wave of unmotivation. Generally, when you feel like your soul feels tired and you know it, you want to take a break, but you know like what you're doing. You know, okay, I need to take a break, like let me just recollect myself. But when you get into a wave of unmotivation, it's generally because your ego is influencing your life more than your soul is. So back to what I was saying kind of earlier about doing what you love. Say you're sitting on the couch and you want to get up and go paint, but you really just want to chill on this couch and just watch this movie, and you feel in your soul, you're like, I could just get up and I could just go paint, but like I'm so lazy. And then guess what, like you don't, and you end up feeling like shit. And this becomes a cycle. You keep procrastinating because your ego assures you that it's fine, and your soul is in the back like, come on, let's just go do it, like it'll be fine. But your ego is like, no, like it'll be fine, I'll do that another day, right? When you're going through this kind of unmotivation, you need to force yourself to get up and go. Okay, you need to override that ego and follow your soul. If your soul says that I want to go outside and go on a bike ride right now, and your ego's like, but I just want to chill here and play video games, baby, listen to your soul. You're gonna end up feeling like shit because you're listening to your ego so much. Your ego just wants to be safe in its little shell, and your soul wants to go venture out into the world. Do what your soul is telling you to do. Even if it's a little thing telling you, listen to it and go do it. Telling you this is a life changer. Seriously, anytime that I've ever accidentally been slipping back into ego, you can notice a drastic change in yourself. Like you feel like, okay, I don't feel good anymore. And then once you start doing what your soul wants again, you feel like you're living your life to the fullest. You don't feel like you're wasting your time. You know that you're doing exactly what you want to do, or what you should be doing. What should be kept at an altar, plus do's and don'ts of having an altar. Okay, so having an altar, it depends on everybody. I'm not going to say that you need to have a specific anything, but the things that I do have are, I have holy water, I have crystals, I have a cross, I have incenses, I have a lot of candles, and I also have Jesus, and I have Buddha. Like I literally have so many things at my altar. But in general, I would only say that the things that you shouldn't be keeping at your altar are things that do not associate with it. So for example, this lip gloss, right? I'm not gonna put this like literally in my altar. Don't be putting things into your altar or on your altar that do not match the same spiritual energy as the other things. Like this is something that you might want to keep at your altar, right? Because it's a crystal, it's an angel, you know, has the same vibrational feelings as the other things at your altar. But generally, do not put anything on it. Hair clips, a brush, whatever you use that is just not has anything to do with it. That's basically it for the don'ts. Like I'm gonna be real, it's really simple to keep an altar. I'm gonna tell you what to do, what you should be doing to take care of your altar. So I highly recommend general cleansing. Use your sage. Cleanse that hoe. Like literally imagine a white light on your altar, pray, make sure you're thanking your angels each and every single time after you're done doing what you're doing. Make sure that you're at peace with what you're doing. I feel like in general you shouldn't be going or doing anything with your altar if you feel you're too much into your ego. Like I don't think that it's good to do things when you're thinking with your ego, of course, because you could do a lot of things to harm others unintentionally because your ego feels threatened or whatever. Your soul always knows what you should be doing. I recommend general cleansing. I do recommend keeping crystals, high vibrational things that you use, oracle, angel cards, sages, incenses, literally all that stuff. Those are the things that I recommend for your altar. I basically went through what I could and what I feel like people should hear the most of. Thank you guys so much for asking questions. I am in love, to say the least. Thank you so much, like seriously. If you have any other questions that you think I should answer in a future Q&A, please let me know, because I'd be more than happy to branch out and tell you what I feel and, you know, try to help you out. Just know that spirituality does not have rules, okay? Don't think that you have to do anything specific in order to be spiritual. All it's about is up here. Think with your soul, not your ego. Work through your shadow self. Be happy for people. Do not be jealous. Whatever you want will come for you, okay? Don't be jealous of somebody else's success. Just know that what you want will come for you when it's time, okay? Manifest effectively. Just switch your negative thoughts around. You can eat whatever you want. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys infinitely, like for real. Love always. Bye.